In a quiet suburban town in the United States, where people measured success by appearances, cars, and clothes, lived a young man named Ethan Walker. Ethan was invisible to most people, not because he was weak or dull or incapable, but because he chose to live quietly. Every morning, Ethan walked to work wearing the same kind of simple clothes: plain shirts, faded jeans, and old sneakers. He never wore branded outfits, never talked about money, and never tried to impress anyone. His meals were simple, too. Homemade food, modest portions, nothing fancy. He lived in a small rented apartment and drove an old car that made strange noises but still worked fine. To the outside world, Ethan looked like an average nobody, and people treated him like one. At the office where he worked as a junior analyst, coworkers often whispered behind his back, "Is this all he can afford? He's been here for years and still lives like this." Some people are just born unsuccessful. Sometimes the mocking wasn't even subtle. During lunch breaks, a group of colleagues would laugh loudly, making sure Ethan could hear them. "Hey, Ethan," one of them once joked, "don't you ever feel like upgrading your life?" Ethan smiled politely and said nothing. Another coworker laughed and added, "Maybe he's saving money to buy dreams." More laughter followed. Ethan heard every word, but he never reacted. He never defended himself. He never explained his silence. He never tried to correct their assumptions. Instead, he focused on his work, kept his head down, and went home every evening to the same quiet routine. To many, his silence meant weakness. But silence, when chosen, often hides strength. A life of being underestimated. Ethan had learned very early in life that showing off attracted noise, not respect. He grew up in a middle-class family. His parents were honest, hardworking people who taught him one powerful lesson: let your work speak before your words. When Ethan graduated from university, many of his classmates chased luxury, social media validation, and fast success. Ethan chose a different path. He took a regular job, learned patiently, and invested his energy where no one can see it. At night, after long workdays, while others were partying or scrolling endlessly, Ethan sat quietly in his small apartment, learning, planning, and building something of his own, something no one knew about. Years passed like this. People around him moved ahead in visible ways: new cars, promotions, expensive lifestyles. Ethan stayed the same, at least on the surface. Inside, however, his world was growing rapidly. The mockery continues. One Friday afternoon, the office buzzed with excitement. A big corporate event was announced. A city-level business conference sponsored by a mysterious new company that had grown incredibly fast in recent years. No one knew much about the owner. Rumors spread everywhere. Must be some billionaire kid. Probably inherited everything. Only rich people can grow this fast. Ethan listened quietly as his colleagues discussed it. During the conversation, someone looked at Ethan and smirked. "Imagine if Ethan was the owner," one coworker said sarcastically. The room erupted in laughter. Ethan smiled softly, picked up his bag, and left for the day. That evening, he stood in front of his mirror, adjusted his simple jacket, and took a deep breath. The time was approaching. The day everything changed. The conference hall was massive. Bright lights, expensive decor, high-profile guests, business leaders, investors, media, everyone who mattered in the city was there. Ethan arrived early, not in a luxury car, not with a crowd around him, not with attention. He walked in quietly, dressed simply, and took a seat near the back. People noticed him and judged him instantly. Does he even belong here? Probably someone's assistant. Why do they let anyone in? No one imagined the truth. As the event progressed, speakers came and went. Finally, the host stepped onto the stage and smiled. "Ladies and gentlemen," he announced, "today's event is made possible by the vision and leadership of one extraordinary individual." The lights dimmed. A name appeared on the massive screen behind him: Ethan Walker. The room fell silent. A moment later, the host continued, "Please welcome the founder and CEO of Walker Innovations." Gasps echoed across the hall. People turned their heads. Slowly, calmly, Ethan stood up. The same Ethan. The simple clothes. The quiet face. But now, every eye was on him. He walked toward the stage, not with arrogance, not with pride, but with the same calm confidence he had always carried inside. The people who once mocked him stared in disbelief. This can't be real. Is this a joke? Impossible. But it was real. Very real. The truth revealed. On stage, Ethan didn't boast. He didn't mention money. He didn't talk about success as power. Instead, he spoke about patience. He spoke about discipline. He spoke about building silently when no one believes in you. He talked about choosing simplicity in a world addicted to showing off. As he spoke, faces in the audience changed. Some looked shocked. Some looked ashamed. Some looked inspired. The same coworkers who laughed at him now avoided eye contact. No insults were returned. No revenge words were spoken. Ethan didn't need them. His presence was enough. After the event, the next Monday at the office felt different. Very different. People greeted Ethan with forced smiles. Some tried to be friendly. Some tried to apologize indirectly. Some pretended nothing had happened. Ethan treated everyone the same. No pride, no ego, no bitterness. One coworker finally gathered the courage to speak. We didn't know," he said quietly. Ethan smiled. "You weren't supposed to," he replied. That single sentence carried more power than any argument ever could. The real revenge. Ethan didn't quit his job immediately. He didn't fire anyone. He didn't humiliate anyone. Instead, he continued living simply, because his goal was never revenge. It was growth. And growth, when revealed at the right time, becomes the strongest answer to disrespect. The best revenge is not anger, not words, and not hate. The best revenge is silent success. People mock what they don't understand. They judge what they cannot imagine, and they regret when it's too late. Stay quiet, stay focused. Let your success speak when the world least expects it. ... If you liked this moral story, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. See you soon with the next moral story.